has been a while. What's up, y'all? What's poppin'? Yeah. Hello, I'm back again after a very, very long leave of absence. I think it's almost close to a year. Sorry. I've just been dealing with stuff. But that's not an excuse because I made a YouTube channel so I could share some things and talk about stuff and all that kind of jazz. And I will be quite honest with you, a lot of things have happened in my life or this past year that would have made really great quality story time YouTube videos. I would have made that cash money in an instant, but again, I just am a failure and I just haven't been keeping up with my YouTube stuff. If you really don't know, judging by the title of the video above, I'm going to be talking about breakups and, I mean, how to cope after a breakup, for that matter. So basically, a couple weeks ago, I did get dumped. I got broken up. The ties were cut. We called it quits. We fell out of love.
Just to suffer.
So that happened to me, and whoa, can I just tell you that was a wild ride in my life. It was pretty shit, as all breakups are. Sometimes it's complicated, sometimes it's messy, sometimes it's heart-wrenching, and sometimes you just want to not exist. I wish things like this don't happen, but I mean, that's life. That's how life goes, and you just have to push forward and look forward to better things. First tip for you guys is, I think, pretty important, and that's to let it all out. Just let all of your emotions out. I don't suggest bottling them all up after something like this. It's not healthy. You need to let yourself feel those emotions. Cry it all out. Give yourself that time to cry. Cry for an hour, cry for a day, cry for a week. Just let it all out. I really do think that if you ball them up now, if you suppress them now, it will really hurt you in the long run when you're trying to heal yourself. Okay, my next tip is to obviously talk about it. It's good to talk about these things with good people who will support you and who will understand where you're coming from, whether that be your friends or whether that be your family. Just talk. Don't suffer in silence, and don't think that by you talking about it, you are being bothersome or being annoying. No. Let yourself open up to others. Let yourself express how you're feeling towards somebody else. Let yourself vent. Let yourself do all those things, because it is very healing and it's very comforting to have someone that will listen and that will always be there to support you and to comfort you. Okay, tip number 3 might sound a little weird, I don't know, but it did help me, and that's basically to visit the breakups forum on Reddit. Yeah, okay, I know it's bizarre, but hear me out. There's literally nothing worse than to feel alone when you're going through some rough shit, man, and a breakup is some rough shit, man. It sounds kind of cynical, but I think it's extremely comforting. I find it extremely comforting to know that I am not alone and that other people are suffering.
Why are we still here?
As well. Okay,
Just
that
suffer.
sounds terrible, but I mean, but you guys understand what I'm saying, right? Like, it's basically just one big support group that you could go to and you could read about other people's situations, and you can talk about things, you could comment on their posts, you could support them as well, you could even share your own story. And you know, going back to my last point about talking with somebody, if you do not find that support from your friends or from your family, you could easily go to Reddit slash the slash breakups, and you can find people that are willing to talk to you, that are willing to listen to you. Yeah, everybody's just supportive on that forum, and there's a lot of takeaways and a lot of realizations that I've found for myself while reading some of these people's posts and reading comments and all those kind of stuff. Okay, so my next tip is actually poetry. Sad poetry. So I think while going through some tough shit, I think poetry is very nourishing for the soul, obviously. A poet that I'm really following right now, his name is R.H. Sin. He writes exactly what I just talked about, which was about heartbreak and overcoming the heartbreak and healing and all that great stuff. They really rang true to how I was feeling and the experiences that I was experiencing at that moment. So yeah, I read a lot of his things actually, and it made me feel good. Yeah. I have one of his books, one of his poetry books, and it just has a lot of good stuff. And it doesn't even have to be him. I'm also reading this other one, Pillow Thoughts, which is really good. And again, a lot of these things that these poets write about ring true, and it's comforting at the end of the day. So my last tip I'd like to share with you guys is that it's all about you. Take this time now to do things for yourself, to do things that make you happy. You know, you could do a lot of things. Pick up a new hobby or jump back into an old hobby. Read a book. Practice a new language. Comme moi. Go out with friends. Plan a trip. I don't know, do yoga or something. Just surround yourself with positive and good people, and surround yourself with good vibes. If you are watching this video and you have just experienced a breakup, or you are still in the process of healing from a breakup, I just want to remind you that, as cliche as it sounds, time does heal all wounds. It does. Don't try to fix yourself in a certain amount of time. Don't think that your mourning process is longer than anticipated, or you know, you're still feeling miserable after an X amount of time. Like, you can't rush these things. You can't rush the healing process. You will get better in time, and you just have to keep on doing good things for yourself in order to make that happen. And I also just want to remind you guys that you are capable of loving, and you are definitely capable of finding love again. I believe that everything happens for a reason, and the breakup that you have experienced, that I have experienced, that people all over the world are experiencing, ended for a reason, I think, because maybe the universe has something better for you in store. Just never forget that.